Hey neighbor, have you ever heard the old term, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it? The old man told me that one time, and that's how I feel about gardening this year. Welcome to the Row by Row Gardening Show, the best dadgum gardening show on the internet, where we talk about gardening, a little bit of cooking, and growing your own food. Now sit back and enjoy. Well, it's been an unusual year for us, and I guess you too. Here in the South, we've been bombarded by storms. We've had more torrential rainfalls than I can remember in a long time, and we just got another one last night.
A lot of people's having the same problems.
A lot of bad weather out in Texas and everywhere, yeah.
Oklahoma.
It's just been one of those years, you know, May generally is a drier month for us, but it's been extremely wet. I just was able to get into a couple of spots yesterday morning that I had not been able to get into. It was because it was so wet, and then last night, boom.
Did you get all the potatoes dug?
I did.
Were they okay?
They were okay, yeah, they were okay.
None were rotten?
No, they were okay. It wasn't the best year, but they were okay. I normally plant my potatoes on a hill, so I was able to salvage most of it, but man, if it'd been in a low spot, it'd been trouble. It's even within my garden that's on a hill, I got some spots that's lower than others, and I can tell a dramatic difference in just those spots.
Yeah. I've got some low spots in my raised bed garden.
Struggling. We got 3 inches of thunder last night. It stormed, and it just rolled in here. We had a 30% chance of a rain, and we got hammered last night. But that's gardening. I irrigated yesterday. Didn't have no idea we was going to get that much rain last night, but I was able to do it with drip tape. So that's kind of the situation we're in this year. It's going to be a diseasey year. That's the word, diseasey.
Diseasey.
A diseasey year. I'm staying on a tight fungicide application schedule, and I'm still having some issues show up. I was going to get out there last night and spray my tomatoes with some liquid copper, and didn't get out there, but it wouldn't have done any good.
You went to sleep?
I went to sleep, but it wouldn't have done any good anyway because we had that much rain come in. Would have washed it off. So I'm probably
I've
going to
got a rust on my Ford hooks.
Okay, so the fungicide for that works wonderful for that is called Fungamax. Fungamax works great on rust on any kind of beans or peas. And rust is one of those things that it looks just like it sounds. It looks like rust on that leaf there.
I need you to take care of that.
You need me to take care of that, I will. Fungamax. So that's what we'll do. We're spraying. I'm spraying way more fungicide, disease control than I am insecticide so far this year.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that many insects.
I didn't have that much problem either, but it's been hammering us. So anyhow, what have we got going on in the garden? Well, our corn just started coming in. Now, I am growing a new variety this year, which is from the same breeder that we get our Seminole XR from. They sent us about 5 new varieties for us to try, and I'm growing one. I got some friends growing the others, but I'm growing a white one this year. And it's doing pretty good. We've been eating on it, since Friday? Saturday? For the last 3 or 4 days we've been eating on it. Saturday. Filled out pretty good. Now, one of the things about corn, variety-wise, is we love about the Seminole XR is it has a long shelf life, and also has a long life on the stalk. So you got about 2 weeks that you can harvest
this
right here.
Like that?
It is like that. It's from the same breeder, so it has some of the same attributes as the Seminole XR. This is a white one here that we do not sell that I'm trialing out there. It's done pretty good. If I have one complaint about it is the vigor of the plants don't seem to be real stable. I had some spots in my field which was a little more higher than others. It kind of there at the end leveled out and everything looks good now, but I noticed during the growing cycle there was some waves in there of that, but it turned out pretty good. That's a really good looking cob right there. This one's a little early right here, but yeah, it tastes good. Sweet. Now, you told me that you thought this was similar to Silver Queen, which I disagree with. You don't think that's a lot sweeter than Silver Queen?
Today I do.
Yep.
Maybe I was eating an ear that was not as developed.
Yep. One thing with these corns is you want to make sure that they get fully developed. That your ear's a little more developed than mine is right there. This is a SH2 type. This is a very sweet corn to me. It's good, isn't it?
That is good.
You could eat that directly off the cob. Now that's, to me, is a good bit sweeter than Silver
Yeah.
Queen. And it's going to last a lot longer in the refrigerator because it doesn't convert starch near as quickly. So it's got good shelf life. It's got good life on the stalk. We think it's probably going to have about 10 days to 2 weeks on the stalk there when it gets ready. So excited about these. I'm not sure we're going to carry it for next year. We're looking at some more varieties as well. Got some field days to go to evaluate and everything. So anyhow, we have starting to have our corn come in. And folks, if you don't know when to pick your corn, right there is the deal. Right there, you see when those silks get nice and dark. That's what you would see. That's when it's time to pull
But
that.
you know what I've noticed with this corn and the Seminole was the same way. This silk is not is
Quite
more,
as dark.
Yeah, it's more of a brown, and so you tend to think it's not ready yet. Mm-hmm.
But the good thing about it is it will hold. Once it gets to this color right here, it'll hold more than some of the other varieties. Because you know life happens, and we can't always get out there and get it when it's ready. So that's the good thing about these newer corns here. Another thing that we got coming in, folks, is blackberries. If you live in the South United States, you should be growing blackberries. This is a variety I planted last year called Sweetie Pie. And it's done pretty doggone good for us, hasn't it?
First year, yeah.
First year. It's a thornless variety. Excuse me. Makes a big berry there. It is sweet. A little bit on the tart side, but it's sweet.
Well, get one. Perfect. Did you get one that's sweeter?
Yeah, that was good there. Yeah, I love blackberries. Blackberries are easy to grow. Doesn't take a lot of effort whatsoever. The main thing is getting a good thornless variety. Now, there's some people out there say the thorn type ones are a little bit sweeter. I'm willing to give that up
For the size
thornless.
and the easy.
because them thorn types will tear you up. You'll be bleeding all over your arm. So we only grow the thornless nowadays. Yeah, they are good.
I was afraid, I was waiting until this morning to pick them. And that rain last night, I was like, oh no.
Yep, they're gonna blow up.
But they didn't.
Another thing you'll notice with all this rain too is a lot of your cherry tomatoes will split on you. I got some in the garden. I know that it's going to be full of water and split. Some of your your better hybrid tomatoes, if you've been keeping them watered, they will fare better. But if you've not been keeping them constant water supply on them, they're going to crack and show water spots on them. But it's those cherry tomatoes that just blow up and crack when we get these inserts of these huge rains that we've had. So watch out for that. It's not a whole lot you can do about it. There are some varieties out there that have been bred to have less cracking. I'm growing one in my garden this year that's bred to have less cracking, so we'll see there.
I got edamame growing.
Edamame, which is, if you don't know, is edible soybean.
My tomatillos are doing good. Cucumbers. We don't have any green beans yet.
Now, the green bean thing has been an issue this year. I had to replant a couple of times on the green beans.
So I planted some as a backup.
And yours is doing well. Yep. We've had a lot of people had issues with poor germination this spring on kind of the cool, wet weather we've had, especially on the legumes. We've noticed we've had worse germination there, and it's simply because there's some rotting going on in the soil there. It's just not perfect conditions there on the germination. So we've seen that. That being said, I'll go into a little spiel here. Next year, we are ordering all of our legumes, our beans and our pea seeds and our peanut seeds to be treated with a fungicide to counteract that. What we're going to find is a lot of these, and we know we're going to have to do some education on this because a lot of people don't understand the treated seed, but these seeds are treated with a fungicide, and you will get way better germination with your seed and not near as much seed rot in the ground as what we've seen this year. So we're going to carry a lot more treated seed on the legumes for next year. I'm not sure about the corns yet, although I think treated seeds have a place. But I think we have to do a lot of customer education on treated seeds, why you should use them, and maybe why you should not use certain treated seeds. That is a show for probably later on, but it's definitely a subject
We
need
do
to
have a
talk about.
video, and I'll put it up here, that you did on why my seeds didn't germinate.
Right.
Sparked a lot of interest, good and some bad. Did have a customer say, well, I'm glad you realize that your seeds are crap.
Well, it's
And I said, no, it's not our seeds.
it's the conditions.
I said, we planted them too early, and the soil was not warm enough.
Right, or too wet. So we have, from time to time, if we have a couple of complaints on a particular seed, what I would do, although we send them to the lab to have them germinated, I will simulate a regular germination in the greenhouse. So I'll take the seeds out there, and to make sure to double and triple check to make sure the seeds are good real world conditions, I'll put them in the greenhouse and see what kind of germination we get. Just like our peanut seed. A lot of people's having trouble with peanut seed. And the fact is they didn't get good germination. The seeds rotted in the soil. But when we did it in a controlled atmosphere in the greenhouse, they was fine. They had wonderful germination. But it's, I think treated seeds will take care of a lot of that.
You had trouble with the green beans.
I did. I had trouble with green blaze.
But I didn't.
But you didn't, right? No. I planted in a situation.
Same lot of seeds.
Yep, they got too much water there and they just rotted. It didn't come up. It wasn't a germination. It wasn't a germination rate thing. It was a germination thing in my soil because my soil wasn't conducive to make that seed come up as a healthy plant. So when people say they had a germination issue with their seeds, the fact of the matter is you very well may have. They didn't germinate for you, but it was conditions beyond control that caused that to happen there.
Not necessarily the seed.
Not necessarily the seed. Well, it could be the seed, not the vitality of the seed, but the seed was in a bad condition and it did rot. We see a lot of seed rotting in the soil there when there's too much moisture. And we've seen that this spring. Man, we've had such a cool. I mean, we're thinking about right here, we are at the end of May, and we're in the 80s this week, and at nighttime we're in the 60s still.
But what's crazy is we've got corn that we normally don't have till July.
If we do, and that's kind of weird for me. Tomatoes are still scheduled. We're probably the second week in June, second week in June, and I got my tomatoes planted late, and we're probably still going to be on schedule with that. So it's strange, very strange.
Our neighbors have got tomatoes ready.
Yep. All right, so we have a new product. Let me get into Blade of the Week first of all. I'm excited about this. I thought I was going to forget about it. Folks, this right here is something you may not be aware of. I'm back to axes this week right here. And this is an American-made axe here. I've got 2 or 3 of these right here. These are wonderful right here. Nice leather sheath there, and it's got all this little nice stuff on there. This is from a company in the USA that's been around for a long time called Council Tools. However, this is a particular series of axes they make, which is their high-end axes. This is the Velvet Cut series, and I keep this in my Jeep right here. It's a little rusted up because it's been used. I need to clean it up. This is the Velvet Cut series of their axes and hatchets. This is their hatchet. I forgot what model this is right here. But man, look at the USA on it right there.
What are you saying,
Velvet Cut is the series.
Is that VE or VA?
VE.
Oh.
See there, it says Council on this side right here. But if you're looking for a good USA axe right here, Council makes these Velvet Cuts. Not cheap by no means, but they have the nice leather sheaths that we see from a lot of the European axe makers there that you don't see much with the American-made axe makers. But very nice right there. Council Velvet Cut. Check it out. I forgot what it cost. I've had this for a long time. There again, we used to sell these back in the day. But that's a wonderful one right there. Expensive, but nice. All right, I'm through with the axes. I may have 1 or 2 more I do. I'm gonna kind of sprinkle the axes in with the knives. But I have a couple more really unique ones I'm gonna have to show a couple weeks later. Folks, we got a new product that we want to show you today that we came out with here recently. We've been working on this for about 6 months. So if you don't know, we got into microgreens a couple of years ago, and we have increased our amount of seeds, the different varieties we sell. We got, I don't know how many varieties of microgreen seed, but we got a lot of them. We import them directly out of the UK. Most of your microgreen seeds, let me put this back. All of your smaller microgreen seeds pretty much come out of the UK. Now, some of your bigger microgreen seeds come out of the US. But we import a lot of them. We get a lot of them from the USA. But we have come up with this system right here with these new products that is easier for people to grow indoors and makes it more affordable. So, without going any further, I'm going to show you some new trays that we've got. And these right here trays are made in the USA, which we're crazy about. We love USA made. But these are the Hoss Rip, and these are our 5x5 trays. that have slits in them and they're solid. And we'll show you in a minute why that is so important. But these 5x5 trays are wonderful, and they're smaller and they can fit underneath really small grow lights, or you can put them in the windowsill, but you have to have some type of sunlight when you start growing these. But these right here are wonderful because you can put them just about anywhere, and it's not a huge amount. So you can sample particular things to find out which one you like the best right here. Also, we have got a new medium type grow mats here, and I'm gonna open this up. Now this right here is hemp fiber grow mats. Now this is the fiber hemp before you get all carried away, not the other kind of hemp, but here, this is the fiber hemp right here. I'm gonna open this up. And these are already pre-cut in the little 5x5s. They have a little white backing on them. The white goes down. So this is the way you would do this right here. You would take your microgreens right there with the slits in there and put that down just like that right there. Now, the thing about microgreens is this time of year going into summertime, we have a hard time growing any kind of greens because it's so hot. Our lettuce will get bitter on us. They bolt real good. We don't do good at all growing lettuces or any kind of leafy green going into June, July, and August. But you can still grow microgreens and have a healthy green, grow it indoors, all during the summertime, which I think is an ideal time to grow microgreens. Any time's an ideal time to grow microgreens, but when you can't grow any kind of lettuces outside, you can grow them indoors. So you take the spray bottle and you wet these things really good. Now you could do it a couple different ways. You can actually pour water in there and drain them off right there, but you want to get this mat nice and wet. Actually, that's not too bad right there.
I think I've got a bath too.
You get some.
Look, you.
I'm
Are you
sweating.
sweating?
All right, then you put it in your solid tray right there, and then you plant your microgreens. As simple as that. Now, inside of the two new kits that we've got, we have got the 5x5. All these seeds out here. And the 5x5s are these right here that you see. You get 5 of the trays that have the holes there, and you get 5 of the solid trays, the bottom trays. You get all kind of seeds, you get the spray bottle there, and you get a 40 pack of these grow mats here. So you get a lot to get you started right there. And I think this sells for like $49.99, something like that. Well, it's not bad at all.
I think I printed it out.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so let's get into the seeds that you get right here. Make sure, I hope I got all of them. These are the seeds that come with the microgreen set. Now this is way more than what you need to plant in one right there. So you got plenty of seeds to get you by for a long period of time. First one is Hoss microgreens, Waltham broccoli. And if you don't know about broccoli microgreens, they're great. Probably one of my favorites there is the broccoli. The next one is the champion radish. The radish has a little bit more of a little bit different flavor to them than the broccoli. They do really good when you mix them together. And then we got buckwheat. Buckwheat makes a good one right there. Big pack of buckwheat.
We're gonna plant these?
And we're gonna plant some, and we got the Hoss black oil sunflowers. Now black oil sunflowers are really good because they have that kind of nutty flavor to them. One of the most popular microgreens out there are the sunflowers. And then we have peas. Peas is also a very good one right here because it has a nice, fresh, crunchy flavor to it.
It only takes, what, 5 to 7 days?
Yeah, 5 to 7 days from the time you grow these, you have them. So if you got kids in your family, you want a project, man, this is perfect here because it's quick for people that's got
So
it.
we'll need to, next week we need to show what they look like.
We'll show what they look like. All right, so a little tip here, and you get this nice little, card in your microgreen kit here that shows you how to do it. However, I'm gonna give you a little tip here that I'm not sure is on here. I don't know if I got my glasses or not. The big seeds, such as pea seeds and sunflower seeds, you need to soak them in water for 12 hours before you plant them. Now your smaller seeds like your broccoli and your radish seeds and things like that, you don't need to soak those, but soak these right here and they will pop a lot quicker. So I tell you what, let's do. Let's do radish seeds. How about that? Radish seeds, and this particular variety right here is called Champion. Now I'll try to give y'all an idea of the thickness you plant that. So we got that nice and wet. And I'm just going to kind of shake that out right here. And I should have done the math to find out how many of these 5x5s you could plant with this one pack. But I think it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 8. 8 of these you can plant with the one pack. All right. So to give you an example, I'm going to try to put it here where you can see the thickness of that. That's about the density of the planting you want to do right there.
And that is, which one?
Radish.
Radish.
All right, after you get them in there, then you simply want to mist them again. Then you want to take another tray and set on top of that, just like that right there. Now, well, let's go ahead, for the sake of everything, let's go ahead and plant some broccoli on that one.
And these Mylar bags, you just stick them in the fridge.
Yeah, really just room temperature will do that right there, yeah.
Well, these are a lot smaller.
Those are a lot smaller there. Yeah, a little bit more, just a tad more in the middle there. Yep. All right, so give everybody an idea. Now, don't worry about it if you don't get your density just right. They may be a little thin, but they'll be fine. So you see the density we planted right there? Same thing, we're gonna spray those in. And then we're gonna save this. We're not gonna do this, we're gonna set this on top. All right, so we would set that right there, and it does not need to be in sunlight. And about twice a day, we're gonna come in here and we're gonna mist them again, right there. And then in about 3 days, what's gonna happen is you're gonna start seeing it push up. The plants need some type of resistance to push up on because it causes a strong root system there. You know, go ahead and do that one.
Yeah.
And then what you would do is you would unfold them. And once they start pushing up and you can see they're getting some strength to them, they're starting to push these off. At that point, we'll take them off and we'll put them underneath a grow light or some type of light. If you got a sunroom, you can put them on a windowsill. They'll do fine that way. They may grow toward the sun a little bit, but that'll be fine. And then in 5 to 7 days, they're going to be ready to cut. Now, here is the thing. You can do microgreens with soil. We've done it in the past, and they do wonderful with soil. Any kind of our pot mix, seed starting mix, you can grow microgreens in that. What I have found is, because we grow most of our microgreens, we're set up in our seed room, our break room in the back. Soil can get a little nasty, especially somebody like me that makes kind of a mess. If I do the soil, I have to do it out there in the greenhouse and then bring them in to the break room because I make such a mess. With these grow mats right here, you can do it all inside. You don't make a mess. That's what I love about these right here. They are so clean. Another thing too is when they get ready to harvest, you can actually pull this up and go in there, cut them off, and get them closer right there to the mat, get more stem, and you don't. Your microgreens are clean.
And the mat, when you're through with it,
you can compost it.
compost it.
Yep. You can compost the mat when they're through.
So the black oil you said you would soak.
I would soak the black oil. I would soak the peas and probably also soak the buckwheat. Those are the ones I would soak overnight and do those. Here's what I think you should probably do. Just keep do one a day. And that way you just got one coming off every day.
Oh no, I like to add them all together in my
You could
salad.
do that. You could put them all together and make a salad, or you could put them in the refrigerator. How long do they last in the refrigerator when you put them in a Ziploc bag?
About 2 weeks.
Okay. So you got plenty of time there to use them up. But these little 5x5 trays are wonderful. Let's show what everything comes in the kit here. Okay. I done busted this open right here. So this 40 pack, 40 of these, 10 trays, 5 with holes, 5 without trays, and all these seeds that we have right here. And let's do this right here. If I think I got my math right, we got 1, 2, 3. How many packs of seed? 5. 5. And I think you can do 8 per pack. 8 of these 5x5s. What's 8 times 5? 45.
And you get the bottle.
You get the bottle.
And instruction card.
Instruction card. So if my math is correct, with the amount of seeds in this tray and this right here, because you got 40 of these, you got enough seeds to do 45 trays, but you got enough grow mats to do 40. For $49, you get enough to grow out 40 5x5 trays. How about that?
And if you was to buy this in the grocery store,
Oh yeah, price your microgreens.
you would little of those what do you call those little clamshell
Yep.
things is about $10.
Yep. So if you spend $49 and get this kit here, the only two things that you need to resupply for the next go around is going to be seeds and more of these grow mats, because you've got everything else.
But now you got enough seeds to do.
45.
45.
45. If my math is correct, you got enough seeds to do 45.
So if you was to buy those 45,
Oh, I don't know.
that'd be $450.
How you getting that kind of math?
What's 10 times 45?
Oh, $10 per price. Oh, yeah. It'd be $450. Yeah. Yeah, so 450. Wow. I didn't
Yeah.
realize that. So anyhow,
I can do math.
it's wonderful if you've got small kids. You want to eat healthy. You want to grow your own food, grow your own greens indoors. You can do all this indoors so the weather doesn't have an effect
Yeah,
on
we
it.
tend to do a lot more in the summertime.
Because we can grow a lot of greens in the wintertime. All right, so let's move on to the 10 by 10. So that was the 5 by 5. That's our introductory microgreen kit right there. So if you want to step it up a little bit, we have the 10 by 10s, and these come in the black. Now we have these trays in the red also, but in the kit you get the black. So you get 5 of the 10 by 10, which is twice the size of the 5 by 5, and you get 5 of the bottom trays there. Now you get on the mats, you get 10 of these right here. Now for these 10 by 10 trays, what you have to do is you have to take your scissors and cut them in half. But you get 10 of these, so you have 20 for enough of 20 of these. You get the same amount of seeds as you do in the 5 by 5. You get the water bottle there, and you get the instruction card. And I believe this one is $69.99. So it's a little bit bigger kit. You can grow a little bit more at a time. So if you got a larger family, or you're growing for restaurants or whatever, or you love to give them away, you can share. You got a little bit bigger there. 5 by 5s work good. The 10 by 10s work good. We also have the 10 by 20 trays.
Which that whole thing would
the
fit
whole
in.
thing fits in. We don't sell that in a kit. But we thought this would be a great way for a small amount of money to you get into microgreens.
Your microgreens has 40 times the nutrients of when they're bigger.
The green, microgreen, then when it's the full size leaf, yeah, absolutely. Packed with vitamins and everything, easy to grow, quick, and
5 to 6 days.
and they're good. I mean, some of them have different flavor profiles, and this is what I would encourage you to do, because there's easily 50, 60, or maybe 100 different varieties of microgreens sold out there. Experiment, find the ones that you love the flavor of, or the mix you may want. You can also do some of the spicier ones like arugula and mix in there. And you find out what you like and kind of go from there. And the great thing about microgreens, with that many seeds available, there's always something new to try.
Yeah, and if you just want to get your feet wet, you can use any plastic container.
You can.
Yeah, those clamshells that blueberries, strawberries come in are great for it, and you can sit it in your windowsill.
Yep. The good thing about these is they're made specifically for microgreen production. They work good because you can stack on top of one another, and you got the ones that drain with that. Now, if you want to use the soil, that's fine. I've used the soil a long time. These are a lot cleaner. The only drawback to these mats right here is they dry out quicker than the soil does. So you do have to make sure that you water a little more often than you do the soil. But I think, from my standpoint of how clean they are, it's wonderful. Now, if you're growing all your microgreens in the greenhouse outside space, soil very well may be a better option for you. But if you're doing this on the inside, you would appreciate how clean these mats are. And how clean your microgreens are. No dirt on them whatsoever. When you wash them one time and you pretty much do.
So let's talk about some tips. Temperature.
Temperature, you want about 75 to 78 degrees. Whatever your house normally sits at is perfect condition for growing microgreens.
Airflow.
Yeah, you want some decent amount of airflow. Preferably, you may want to put a little fan on there. Your biggest obstacle in growing microgreens is managing moisture and make sure you don't get mold in there. So you want to make sure they drain. That's the reason we like using these trays that drain into a bottom tray, because you don't want them sitting in water. You want them to dry a little bit and re-water them, because you don't want mold growing. Mold will kill your microgreens.
Sunlight.
Once those plants push this up and they get ready to start, you see those leaves starting to pop, you want to get them underneath the sunlight. It's got to be artificial light or sunlight. You got to have one or the other, unless you're growing the very unusual popcorn.
Yeah.
When you got to grow it all in dark, but that's a whole different story.
A south-facing window works best.
Really, I didn't realize that. Okay.
Watering, don't let it dry out. Like I said, don't water it too much.
Yep, this right here is your best friend right here. A couple of times a day, and make sure it drains. So you want to make sure that you're emptying out your bottom tray so that the water's not stagnating in there. Keep the bottom tray emptied out and keep that water going through here, circling down to your bottom tray and getting it out of the way.
Reasons why they might fail.
Overwatering, standing water is going to be your biggest thing. Poor air circulation is going to be the main things, and then above that, if you let them dry out too much, you can fail. So drying out too much, watering too much, or letting them sit in water, and poor airflow.
And uneven seeding.
Yeah, but that's easy. Once you get the hang of that, you can just kind of shake them in there.
Yeah. Like I said, there's over 60 varieties.
Man, these mustards you can grow if you like kind of spicy stuff, arugula, all kind of stuff.
Lemon balm, basil, garlic, chive, dill, cilantro,
Yeah. Boom, 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 boom.
fennel, borage.
Yep. Anything to suit your taste, what you want.
Edible flowers.
Edible flowers. That's a whole different ballgame there. We need to do one on edible flowers. That's a new thing. If you hadn't heard about it, it's edible flowers. So anyway, there's your microgreen kit, folks. We're excited about that. We think it's going to be able to help people get started growing microgreens at an affordable rate there. Like I said, heck, there ain't no excuse why you can't justify $49 for $450 worth of food. Yeah. And plus you get the fun of growing it. So.
And you can reuse that.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, there we have it. We got corn. Man, garden of the week.
Right here.
Oh, ain't this pretty?
Hold on.
Simmer down now.
Simmer down. Scott Parham. They have 11 raised beds with our House tomato plants, pea, squash, okra, and they are in Greenwood, South Carolina.
Ain't there some pretty raised beds? I love that. Yep.
I like those wood.
It looks really good. I hope it holds up for it, but it looks really cool. Yep. Look, the wood trellises. How about
I do like
Yep.
that.
Yep.
Makes it neat.
Yep. Thank you, Scott, for sending that in. We love the looks of it. They got the rock down there. And, you know, a garden has a certain amount of eye appeal to it. You know what I mean? When it's nice and neat. Your potager garden's looking really good.
It is.
We had some company over Friday night. We had to carry them on tour of the potager garden. So it's looking. We need to get some drone footage of it.
Yeah, I do.
All right, folks, for the old goat. Now, the old goat is on the set somewhere. He moves around. If you find the old goat figurine on the set, put in the comments below where that old goat is, and we'll draw next week for this week's winner.
Yeah, and you're not the old goat.
And I'm not the old goat, although I've been called the old goat before. But last week's winner of the old goat is, oh, I got it right here, is Sandra Volmar. Sandra, I hope we didn't butcher up your last name too.
Vollmar.
Sandra, send us your information, your shipping information to
support@growhouse.com.
and we'll send you a fancy pair of the Get Dirty socks right there. Yep.
Get out of the garden and get dirty.
Get out of the garden and get dirty.
Or wear them to town.
Wear them to town. Folks, maybe our weather is calm down a little bit so we can make a good crop. It's struggling right now, but I think we'll be okay if we get some sunlight and heat. We need some heat. Need some hot, dry days, believe it or not.
My peppers are
my
really
peppers are doing good too, but we need some. We need our weather to straighten up just a little bit and push through and make this tomato crop. My melon crop is looking okay, but it could go south on me at any time. I'm really nervous about my melon. It's got pretty tasty bite cantaloupe crop that I'm growing for you. But anyhow, gardening is tough, and as the old man said, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. So
That's right.
there you have it. Thank you for joining us. Get outside and get dirty.